My name is Grant.
And I'm Matthew.
The Video Boys are live on location in beautiful San Diego, California to review Die Another Day. The movie opens with something we haven't seen before. Bond is captured by North Korea and taken to a foreign prison. But listen to the music in this scene and see if you can pinpoint the exact second when things start to take a turn for the worse.
I'm gonna wake up, yes and no, I'm gonna kiss.
It's kind of a shame too, since this pitch-corrected abomination interrupts an interesting little title sequence where Bond seems to hallucinate and even be comforted by beautiful women as he's being tortured.
Yeah, I don't hate this as much as you do, but if you listen to the lyrics, it really sounds as if Madonna just had no idea what this scene would be about.
Bond eventually gets back to MI6, but M isn't happy to have him in exchange for
the dastardly Zhao.
Bond is angry about it too, but it really is his fault for not taking his cyanide pills.
Yeah, but M is kind of a hypocrite too. I mean, she got captured in the movie right before this one, and she didn't take any cyanide pills.
So Bond sets out on his own to find Zhao, but is distracted by a plot device swimming in the water. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Alright, so Bond meets a woman named Jinx. The problem with this character is how much of a caricature she is. When she isn't getting captured or needing rescue, she's out spouting one-liners and sexual innuendo.
Wow. Now there's a mouthful.
So now it's time to meet our villain, Gustav Graves. He and Bond have a friendly fencing match which starts out realistically, sort of reminiscent of Bond's past antics of showing up the bad guy at his own game. It devolves from there into your basic sword fight, which is actually pretty fun to watch, though I would have preferred the old muted anger between them.
I like this scene more than you, and I especially like the way Graves responds to losing the match to Bond.
Graves is actually Zhao's boss, Colonel Moon, in disguise. He isn't very secretive about his radical genetic transformation surgery, even joking with the press about his resulting inability to sleep.
So Bond decides to go to a fancy party being held by Gustav Graves inside of a giant ice cave. And this is just dumb. We see that everything at the party is made of ice, even the chairs. Are these women in these ball gowns really going to sit on ice chairs? What? Why?
And who does he find but his old pal, Jinx? So of course, since he knows from their first encounter that she's trying to kill Zhao, he immediately figures out that Zhao is in Iceland and that since Zhao is having his face reconstructed, Graves must be Moon, right? Wrong! Bond has no clue that Zhao is here until the plot decides to resolve and Jinx flat out tells him.
I hate Jinx!
Moon's assistant Miranda Frost is actually an MI6 agent on the inside, but she's actually working for Moon the whole time.
M explains how an MI6 agent could be connected to Moon in a brief throwaway line, but we all know that the real reason is just because Jinx is so pointless a character that the writers had to give her something to do and someone to fight. So, in the final climax, while the men are fighting, Jinx and Frost engage in a cat fight where they rip at each other's clothes.
Bitch.
I tell you, nobody likes Bond's invisible car. Well, I do. He has a couple of neat maneuvers with it. I especially like this final showdown with Zhao. The gadget may be outlandish, but Bond uses it in practical ways.
Another thing that most fans hate about this movie is the CGI wave that Bond surfs on. Not only does the wave look horribly fake, but it breaks the Bond tradition of having live stunts performed by real people. Why does pulling the strings make you go higher?
But Bond's not done. He needs to race against the clock to save Jinx. Again, everyone seems to have a collective premonition about Jinx drowning. The bad guys somehow know the ice castle will fill this room with water by melting rather than freeing or crushing her.
Time to give the American her bath.
It's pretty good tailoring. I hope it doesn't shrink when it gets wet.
And Bond knows to crash his car into the door in the nick of time. And we don't know why or how.
I don't know, Matt. You can't stop me from still liking this movie. But I will admit there are many flaws. The first comes in the opening sequence. I don't think whoever planned that bullet actually understands that it's a gun barrel that we're looking through.
Ah! What the hell? Wait, you're a gun? I always thought you were like an eyeball or something.
Don't forget those annoying speed up, slow down shots littered throughout the movie.
The ending was kind of disappointing for me too. I really would have liked it if in the 20th movie Bond and Moneypenny finally hook up. But no, it was all just a simulation, and Bond ends up with Jinx at the end.
And since this is the last official Bond in the original canon, that's it. Bond and Jinx are together forever. The end.
How good you are.